Hello, BookTube. Was ootin' a boot a bit and stopped at a charity shop, as is my custom, my wife and I. And I picked up some stuff. I think I spent, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. So there's $1, $2, $3, and then another book for 25 cents. So $3.25, not a bad day. And I'll show you what I got. So this is a reprint series from University of Arizona Press. It's a book that was first published in 1877, and I used this book when I was an anthropology major. For historical reasons, it's out of date, but a very interesting read. I no longer have a copy, and for 50 cents I wasn't going to pass it up. This is Lewis Henry Morgan's Ancient Society. It's had a profound effect both on anthropology and Marxist social theory. In it, he traces the rise of organized societies from hunter and gatherer bands to urban settlements and offers arguments on the rise of statehood, the family, and property. So, an important book in the history of thought, the history of anthropology, archaeology in the Americas, that type of thing. Really nicely done here. When did I wonder if they'll tell me when University of Arizona put it out. So it's part of a series of Classics of Anthropology edited by Ashley Montague. Has a foreword by Elizabeth Tooker, and it's from 1985. So nice condition, a little bit of glare there, but nice condition, and very interesting work. Very interesting work. Try to do some sort of order here. The next one I got, I don't know anything about. The author sounds real familiar here. Oh, okay, yeah, I do know why. Okay, this is The Age of Reform, 1250 to 1550, An Intellectual and Religious History of Late Medieval and Reformation Europe by Stephen Osman. Again, we're going to have a glare issue here. I did close up this window, but I think because the light's directly above, this is a little L shape. It's it's a landing above the stairway, so there's not really a lot of maneuverability available. This is New Haven in London, Yale University Press, 1980. A late printing of that. So Stephen Osman is McLean Professor of Ancient and Modern History at Harvard University. He is also the author of The Reformation in the Cities, Magdalena and Balthazar Protestants, The Birth of a Revolution, and The Burgermeister's Daughter, Scandal in 16th Century German Town. Very scholarly thing, obviously. Lots of footnotes. Probably be a great book. This is fantastic, isn't it? I would imagine it's a really good bibliography. Just the sort of thing I love to sit down and just enjoy. Let me see here. Good index. List of abbreviations. Most of the bibliography you're going to find in your footnotes. $0.50. So how do you beat that? I'll go with the collection down there. Then this one I was thrilled to get. This is the English edition of Discovering Perigord Prehistory. Now, I did a big section on the archaeology there as an undergrad with an archaeologist who specialized in that. This is one of these cliff cave type things. These are some of the tools. So I've done a lot of work with these types of things, and always found it to be fascinating. Cave art. And this is a region of the world that's just loaded with this stuff. So somebody obviously went on a tour there or something. And this is La Mousterière, what the Mousterian is named after in archaeology. So here's a dig going on. So how much fun will that be? So a touristy sort of thing, but I'll put it right in my archaeology books. I'd love to go do this someday. continuing on with these nonfiction works. I got this one. I don't know this, but it had a blurb from David Crystal, and I have lots of David Crystal books. This one's Language Myths, edited by Lori Bauer and Peter Trudgill. Excuse me. And it says on the bottom here by David Crystal, it says, essential reading for anyone concerned with the nature of language, and it's a Penguin book. Really good condition. I'll put it with my collection of those and work my way through it here. This came out in bada-boom. It's hard for me to see. I do not. Oh, 1998 in bold letters, so I should be able to see it right. So, thrilled to find this. And then I've got quite a bit of Christopher Hitchens, but this is one I didn't have a copy of, and that is God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything by Christopher Hitchens with a new afterword. You know that this book is a center of conversation, sometimes quite heated conversation. I don't join in it, and because I don't have the... I'd have to read it and really get a feel for it, but I know a lot of folks are either end of the spectrum on this, right? Give it a read. I have a lot of his other things. I tend to like some of it, so we'll see what happens. Then we have a steampunk, James P. Blaylock, steampunk legend, The Aylesford Skull, A Tale of Langdon St. Ives. I like steampunk. I don't read a ton of it, but when I do, Lavi Tidhar, I've read some of his Bookman type things, and I like them. It's the summer 1883, and Professor Langdon St. Ives, brilliant but eccentric scientist and explorer, is at home in Aylesford with his family. A few miles to the north, a steam launch has been taken by pirates above Egypt Bay, the crew murdered and pitched overboard. In Aylesford itself, a grave is opened and possibly robbed of the skull. The suspected grave robber, the infamous Dr. Ignacio Narbonne, is an old nemesis of Langdon St. Ives. When Dr. Narbonne returns to kidnap his 4-year-old son Eddie and then vanishes into the night, St. Ives and his factotum Hasbro race into London in pursuit. So, not anything I have read, and I will give her a shot. And then for a quarter, I got this next one. When Steve Donahue was here last week, he picked up the first volume of the Kent Family Chronicles in an old paperback. The title was The Bastard. The books used to be everywhere. I couldn't help it. I saw this today in hardback, and I had to grab it. And that's the Kent Family Chronicles, 3 volumes in one, John Jakes, the first 3 volumes of the American saga, The Bastard, The Rebels, and The Seekers, complete and unabridged. Pretty good shape. Pages aren't even yellowed, so we'll see. Remember when these things, and here's a list of all the novels. They're not all in here, obviously, the first 3 are. But it'll be sort of fun. Takes up less shelf space than doing all the paperbacks are big old thick things. So that is a book haul. And I'd thank you for watching, and we'll be in touch. Thank you, BookTube.